What's up? What's up? What's up? Get all up in here. As always, we gotta check our socials, do our due diligences. Let y'all get all up in here. What is going on, my peoples? What is up? How y'all feeling out there? It is that time. Fantasy picks. Fantasy starts. Fantasy sits. Weekly picks. Come get this moolah, baby. I guarantee I did better than y'all. Guarantee I did better than y'all. 100%. I've seen some of the people y'all picked on the internet. Guarantee I did way better than y'all. I'm trying to find my Bleacher Report. Pardon me. But I still know I did better than y'all. It was an off week, but I still know I did better than y'all. Guaranteed. And then how I know is because y'all don't ever want to go pick for pick. Y'all scared to go pick for pick. I don't know why y'all scared to go pick for pick. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, what's up? What's up? Who in here? Tap in. Who's all in here? While I get this set up. Tap in. Tap in real quick. And while you're at it, always, always share it live. Let people know you here. Let people know what's going on and what the going ons. Hey, let's see which one I like better. I like that better. If I had somebody else in here, I would probably use that one. I don't like that at all. I need y'all to see me. There we go. We're gonna stay off to the bottom. Start from the bottom. Now we here. As you know, week 3. You guys got any overreactions? Everybody's trash, right? Everybody's trash. No one's good. One thing that is crazy is all the injuries that are happening right now. The amount of injuries are crazy right now. Like, there's so many injuries happening right now. Um, CMC, IR, Debo Samuel out for a few weeks. Who else? Tua, IR. Yeah, it's a lot of people. I can't even think about as many people it is right now. But yeah, so I know that affected some of y'all fantasies. So hopefully y'all picked up a few people. Cream Hunt's a good waiver wire pickup. Um, Anybody out there grab Kareem Hunt if he's available? I will grab him. It was too late to grab Jordan Mason if you're a 49. I knew that was coming to IR for CMC. I've been putting that all on Twitter for those that follow me, 49ers East Coast on Twitter. Um, I knew CMC was going to be out for a while. That's why I grabbed CM. That's why I grabbed Jordan Mason in every single one of my leagues, and he is killing it for me right now. He's saving my life because everybody's hurt, everybody's injured. Um, Derek Carr. Who knew Derek Carr was going to be doing what he's doing right now? But Derek Carr does love an offense when a first read, quarterback friendly first read offense. Clint Kubiak doing his thing down there in New Orleans. Kyle Shanahan, protege, one of his disciples. But it seems like all the disciples do better than he does with their offenses for some reason. For someone that's supposed to be a genius, he doesn't do very well with 90 million All Pros. But we're not even going to do that today. We're going to keep it positive, unless your team is hot butter garbage. All right, we're going to start this countdown, and we're going to get into it. You know how we do. All right, let's get it. What is up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Geach. Make sure y'all share the live. Make sure y'all share the live. Make sure y'all share the live. Make sure you come get these monies, these ultimate monies out there for y'all. These picks could make you rich. Um, I got a couple of friends out there that got rich quick off of these picks last year. We went 69% last year on our picks. We are already off to a good start. We're at 72%. The reason I know it's 72% because I have an app that tracks it, lets me know all of my picks and how I've been doing. If you want a piece of that action, let me know. I could drop a link for y'all. See if y'all can, get a part of that as well. But with no further ado, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna jump right into it. This is what y'all came here for. Your fantasy starts first and foremost. First and foremost, your fantasy starts. Who are we starting this week? Third week in a row. If you hadn't, Jordan Mason. Oh man, you just saying that because you're a 49ers guy. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that because the Rams run defense is hot butter garbage. Their team right now is hot butter garbage. They can't stop a nosebleed. So historically, the 49ers do well against the Rams in the run game, and there's no reason to stop now, especially with Debo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey out. I think they're going to rely a lot on the jumbo run packages. Probably even mix a little bit Isaac and more, maybe. Um, I don't think they really liked the plays that they had designed for him. But I expect to see a lot more, not a lot more, but more of Jordan Mason, about the same. So I will start Jordan Mason this week. Another one to start this week, Alvin Kamara, my man AK. You know what I mean? Against that Eagles defense. The Eagles defense is rather atrocious right now, and they're susceptible to a running back who is a dual threat. And Alvin, AK, as long as he's healthy, he's always going to get his anyway. But I love this favorable matchup against against the Eagles. They're going up against a system that they just lost against. And however, this system that they're going to be playing against now is a little bit better. I think the Saints team is a little bit better than the Falcons team. So expect to see a nice amount of AK. And then finally, it's all about the RBs this week. This ground and pound week. Pause. No Diddy. Um, Jerome Ford. We're going Browns against the Giants. A healthy bet if you're doing that. What is it called? The survival pick thing. Pick anybody that's playing the Giants or the Panthers. That's a good bet. Same thing with fantasy. Um, Nice bet is to pick one of your featured backs that are going against either the Giants or the Panthers. And I like what the Cleveland is going to do to the Giants, which is run all over these boys. A lot of play action pass. I was going to put Jerry Judy in there. but Deshaun Watson is still the quarterback, so who knows how he's going to fare. So we're going to stick with Jerome Ford. That's who we're going to rock with for that one. Jerome Ford. Now, people to sit. Who are we sitting this week? First, Ron. Ron. We're going to sit Ron. Why are we sitting Ron? He's still getting back to it. And Jared Mayo, coming from the school of um, Belichick, they're going to take away what you love to do best. They're going to put a lot of disguises together, and that one read offense is Nathaniel Hackett that's going to bring is not going to do well against that complex Patriots defense. Are they going to win? I don't know, maybe, potentially. But I would sit Ron if I were you. I would sit Ron. Sorry, I should say sits. Next one, Mike Evans. Why are we sitting Mike? You sit Mike Evans this week. Just this week. And it has more to do with the scheme. Patrick Surtain out there on the outside. I just don't like the matchup in the pass defense. Now, I'm not saying that I think the Bucks are probably going to win. Maybe we'll see with the picks, but we're talking about fantasy. Both things can be true. Baker Mayfield still may get his off, but I think they're going to take care of Mike Evans' calls. And lastly, fantasy sits. Saquon. The Saints have a sneaky good defense. And Saquon is known to put the ball on the ground. That is his thing throughout his career. Saquon will put the ball on the ground, and the Saints, with that Dennis Allen defense, they're going to do some things. That's what they do. I like what they do down there in New Orleans. So be careful with that Saquon. You got to be careful with that. So for fantasy starts, just in case you're just jumping on, we're going with Jordan Mason. It's a running back party. Even for the sits, it's a running back party. Jordan Mason, 49ers against the Rams. I like Alvin going against those Eagles. And then Jerome Ford, anybody against the Giants. And then for the sits, we're going to sit down Aaron Rodgers, Ron. We're going to sit Mike Evans. Y'all going to hate me about that one. Doesn't matter. And sit Saquon. All right. So that's what we're talking about for the fantasy. Now, what you here for? What are you here for? You here for your weekly picks. Y'all here to get this money. That's it. Yeah. Stop pretending like y'all here for anything else but to get this money. Like I said, it was a bad week across the board. I know Vegas was eating last week. 49ers lost to Sam Darnold. Eagles lost to the Falcons. Ravens lost to the Raiders. Who else? I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Cardinals beat the Rams. Who else? Bucks beat the Lions. Who else? And and the Saints pounded the Cowboys. Pause. Hey, yo, this is a. I guess with Diddy getting arrested, he's just trying to take over the industry, and all this verbiage is happening right now. But anyway, so it was a lot of upsets, especially if you're going off of last year. The first 2 weeks are always difficult. It's hold on for dear life. You know what I'm saying? Last week we went 12-4. We did very well last week, with the exception of a couple of losses that were head scratchers. We really should have been 14-2, but whatever. This week, 8-8, 500. It's all good. You had a better chance of flipping a coin for what? Listen to this podcast for what, to go 50%? However, I probably did better than y'all. I know I did, because I know how you guys rock and I know how y'all operate. But let's get down to it. First and foremost, let's bring my co-host to the stage, the one and only Bleacher Report. That's just the first app that I use. It doesn't matter who it is or why it is. I just always use Bleacher Report. All right. Thursday's game, we got The Patriots against A Ron. There was a reason I said sit A Ron because of the Patriots defense. Now, I'm not saying they're a great defense or a good defense. I like their scheme going up against Nathaniel Hackett's simplified scheme. We're talking about this is a coaching battle. Sometimes coaching matters. Most of the time, coaching matters. But this time is really going to matter. They're going to take away what they like to do. I'm not saying the Jets are going to lose. Um, Actually, I am. I like the Patriots. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about Aaron Rodgers, all this hype behind what he's supposed to be doing. I don't care about none of that. I think the Patriots are going to flat out win, especially 6 points. Take those 6 points. There's some games that are gimmies. I told y'all last week about the gimmies. The gimmies won. Now, granted, the gimmies won. The gimmies won. Okay. Uh, it was the other games that were a little, but the gimmies won. All of the gimmies won. Those were easy. Those were easy ones. This is another one. Patriots 6. Take it. I'm trying to tell y'all. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Y'all smart. Take it. That's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on that, but take it. It's the scheme. It's all about the scheme. Next up, we got the Bears. Caleb Williams going against Anthony Richardson and the Colts. Anthony Richardson is horrible so far. Now, granted, this is what his only his fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever, seventh start. So until he gets a whole season on his belt, it's hard to judge an individual. But what I'm saying, bro, you had everything I saw in training camp. Actually, wide open people missing. Not very accurate down that one pass. He's living off that one pass to Alec Pierce, and he just chucked it down the field. That's all. He just threw it 65 yards down the field. I can't say that's all because 90% of y'all watching this can't throw the ball 65 yards down the field. So don't even go there. However, we're talking about NFL talent. That's all he did was just threw the ball 65 yards down the field. That's really not that impressive. Um, and that Bears defense has been doing pretty well. I don't like their offensive line, and I don't like their offensive coordinator. Um, but I do like their defensive backs against a quarterback like Anthony Richardson that's going to gun it and just chuck it and all these other things. So, with that said, I'm actually going with the Bears. Upset pick. Give me that 1.5, car. Give me that 1.5. Next up, we got the Broncos and the Bucks. Broncos and the Bucks. Um, this one was a tougher one for me. Broncos and the Bucks. This one was a tougher one, especially when it was at 7 when I did this earlier. Earlier it was at 7. Now was at 6.5. I believe the Bucks are going to win, so I'm gonna get that out the way right now. It's just the 6.5 that I wrestle with because the Broncos have a solid defensive back structure, and the Bucks aren't necessarily like a high flying power offense. Let me look at something. This is just over this year. They're playing in Tampa. It's gonna be hot. What's the weather? It's gonna be clear skies. All this stuff matters when gambling. See, this is what y'all problem is. Y'all don't do no research. Y'all just be picking with your heart. Stop picking with your heart and do some mother loving research. Hmm. That's where that 6.5 is coming from. Okay. What's allowed? There- So yards allowed. Ninth. This is why I said to be careful with Mike Evans. And this is why I say to be careful with the 6.5. So with that said, I no thanks, brother. No thank you, brother. So with that said, I'm going with my original gut and I'm sticking with it. And we're rocking with the Broncos with the 6.5. But we would like the Bucks to win. I people from Tampa. I'm down here in Tampa. Chill, chill, chill. Wait a second. Hold on just a second. I still like the Bucks to win. All right? I still like the Bucks to win. I just don't like them to beat them by 6.5 points. That's just me. That's just me. All right, that's it. Next up, we got the Steelers and the Chargers. Battle of two sneaky 2-0 teams. This one was a hard one for me as well because both of these teams are still early in their identities because these are right. So this isn't the same team that Kenny Pickett was on. This is also a Jim Harbaugh team. Different scheme, different approach. They're running the ball like crazy. That's going to be a Jim Harbaugh staple. They're going to run the ball, right? They're going to run the ball and then play action pass, some crossers, take a couple shots down the field. Mike Tomlin is going to be good at diagnosing that. His Mike Tomlin is a sneaky good coach. I don't know why he doesn't get his credit. Mike Tomlin needs to get his credit because he plays with a bunch of nobodies and he consistently has a winning record every single year. He has a Super Bowl win. So I don't understand why he doesn't get considered as one of the better coaches in the league. I like him over Kyle Shanahan. Uh, I mean, as a coach. Now, Kyle Shanahan has a better offense, obviously, but I think Mike Tomlin's a better coach. We're talking about coaching because coaching matters. And with that said, coaching matters. So does defense, pass rush. Justin Fields is playing again, and he's been taking care of the ball. That's all we ask from Justin Fields is to take care of the ball. He's still making dumb decisions, but he's taking care of the ball. Justin Herbert is due for an interception. We're going with the Steelers, 1.5, and they're at home. People underestimate the home team, Pittsburgh. That home field advantage is a thing in Pittsburgh. Trust me when I tell you that. Next slate of games. Ooh, we got the Eagles and the Saints. The Saints are gonna march in. Look, they got the Saints favorited, especially because the Eagles just blew that lead against the Falcons. The Saints aren't playing right now at all. Like not even a little bit. Their offense is crazy. Um, their defense is always solid, but Clint Kubiak is doing a great job. Like I said, with Derek Carr, one read offense, West Coast. The years that Derek Carr did well, who was the coordinator? John Gruden running the West Coast offense, one read West Coast offense. That's what he needs. He doesn't need all this extravagant language and all these other option routes. First read, left to right progressions, old school football. That's it. Slang it. He ain't got to think. He can just throw the rock. If he don't have to think and he can throw the rock, Derek Carr was a pretty serviceable quarterback. And he has weapons and he has a run game. The Saints are sneakily good, and the Eagles have yet to still figure it out. Going with the Eagles to lose by at least 2.5 points. We're going with the Eagles, man. I mean the Saints. We're going with the Saints. Why do I keep saying Eagles? We're going with the Saints. Going with the Saints. I think they win convincingly. The Saints just manhandled the Cowboys, and I think the Cowboys are a better team in that division than the Eagles right now, personally. That is all subject to change. It's week 2. Anything is subject to change. Next up, Browns and the Giants. We ain't going to spend a lot of time with this. This moved also. This was at 6, is now at 6.5. It don't matter. It could be at 12.5. I will probably still take the Browns because Giants still have Daniel Jones as their quarterback. And as long as Daniel Jones is a quarterback and Dabo is the coach, that's just going to be the nature of the beast for them. I mean, that's just what it's going to be, unfortunately. Um, the Giants are hot butter garbage. The Browns aren't too much better, but their defense is solid. I can see them getting about 2 or 3 interceptions off of Daniel Jones or 2 or 3 turnovers, more or less. All right. Next up, we got the Packers and the Titans. Packers without Jordan Love. Titans mediocre. This was at 3. It then moved to 2. I'm not sure why. It doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it because I like the Packers on this one. Give me the Packers with the points. I still think they're a better team than the Titans. Will Levis is not that good of a quarterback at all, and the Titans are just not that good of a team. There's a reason they're 0-2, right? Next up, Texans and the Vikings. This is going to be a better game on paper than one would think. Um, it's funny because this was at 2.5 and now it's at 2. I don't know what moved for it to move. Maybe just to entice some people to probably pick more of the Vikings. That's a trap. Don't fall for it. Fall for the Texans because the Texans aren't the 49ers. The Texans actually have good coaching and they're going to do some things to make it work. I would go with the Texans. I would stay. Yeah, I wouldn't even. Who cares? I think they're going to beat the Vikings. Now, don't sleep on the Vikings at all, um, because Justin Jefferson is healthy. Well, actually, no, they're a little injured, so I don't even know why. Yeah, they were injured. They might not be. I have to check the reporting, but they're not even 100%. So go with the Texans. Y'all better pick that up while it's still easy money, Poppy, easy money. Next up, we got the Dolphins and the Seahawks. Dolphins and the Seahawks. This one, this one intrigues me because the Dolphins without Tua, but it's still this. I'm not. The Seahawks do this every year. They fraud every single year. You think, oh, it's the Seahawks. They nice. They go 7-0, and then they start playing real teams. I still think the Dolphins, with all those weapons, are still going to do pretty well. Now, with Tua being out, that drops them what about 2 or 3 games that they probably would have won because Tua is going to be better than Skylar Thompson. Um, I think, yeah, because their defense is still okay. They're mostly a run game anyway. Um, Off the chain back there running it. So I'm still rocking with the Dolphins. I think they're going to win. So if you're going to give them 4.5 points, that's cool. I think they're going to win outright. Now they might squeak it out, but I think they're going to win. So give them 4.5 points. We don't care at all, really, to be honest with you. Next up, Panthers and the Raiders. Ah, this may be the hot butter garbage game of the week. So for the hot butter garbage game of the week, we're not going to spend a lot of time on that either. It's the Panthers. Now, this is where it gets sneaky at because it was at 5.5. That's the Andy Dalton effect. That's the Andy Dalton effect. Bryce Young is horrible right now. He is horrible. I don't get it. I get it. Most of it is the coach, and they picked that coach because the owner is an idiot. So they just wanted somebody that was going to be like, yeah, I could do something with this team and Bryce Young. No, you can't. He's not going to be good. Some people just have it. Some people don't. I hate to write people off so early, but he does not have it. I don't see it. I do not see it. He needs a new system. He may be Christian Ponder. That's who Bryce Young might end up being, like Doug Flutie or Christian Ponder. So that's fine. He's just gonna be a career backup, career journeyman. Um, so I spent more time on that than I should have, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart. So we're just gonna go with the Raiders. And they're at home. Max Crosby. It's not too much more about that. Lions Cardinals. Earlier this was at 2.5. Now it's at 3. Maybe they're trying to move people off of it. So the Lions struggled with the Rams, who just got blown out by the Cardinals, and they lost to a Bucks team. I think the Cardinals' offense is a little bit too much for the Lions to handle. Now, the Lions have a better offense than the Rams do, but they don't have a better quarterback. They might have a better all around team than the Rams, but the Cardinals went to wire with the Buffalo Bills. The Cardinals just don't have a great defense. They got a nice little offense. So I think when it's this close, we going to go to. I always go to the quarterbacks when it's this close. Quarterbacks and coaching. Give me the Cards. I hate to pick them. 49ers fan, divisional team. I hate, but I just see them beating the Lions. Call me crazy, but I don't think the Lions are going to be as good as they were last year. Now they still might win that division just because Jordan Love's out, but they're already behind the Vikings. Don't sleep on the Vikings right now. As of right now. As of right now. Right now. Don't. I mean, they gonna do that. Next up, we got Gang Gang against the Rams. Now Christian McCaffrey's out. Debo Samuel's out. Who cares? It's the same sorry ass Rams. Cooper Cup's out. Puka Nakua's out for the Rams. They're depleted. They're hurt. It's the Rams. I'm not. I mean, Huffy's back. Only person we're missing now on the defense would be Greenlaw. So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that. Bang bang Niners gang. You already know what it is. You know what it is. You hear me? Next up, last slate of games. Last slate of games. Coming down to the home stretch. Coming down to the home stretch. We got the Cowboys and the Rams. This is a harder game to pick than you think. Because with the I say the Ravens, Cowboys and the Ravens. With the Ravens being 0-2 and the Cowboys are still a pretty good team. Um, NFC, AFC, the Ravens don't look like the same team from last year. That's the problem. And that's what scares me. The Ravens don't look like the same team from last year. Their defense seems like it's gotten worse, and it's probably was the coordinator. He's now over there in Seattle doing his thing. Um, so they still look like they're searching for a defensive identity. I don't know if they're going to find it this week in at all. 1 point is basically a pick 'em game. So pick your poison. The Cowboys are home. Cowboys are home. I'm going with the home team. That's all that came down to. I'm going with the home team. I didn't go with the coach. I just went with a gut home team pick. Sometimes that's the ones that get you killed, though. Next up, Chiefs and the Falcons. Not going to spend a lot of time with that. I like the Chiefs at the 3.5. Um, Spags is going. That's almost a give me right there. Spags is going to do his thing against Kirk Thuggins. Um, yeah, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that one. Then we have Buffalo Bills against the Jacksonville Trevors. The Jacksonville Trevors are horrible, and so is their quarterback, the Jaguar. Um, what did they necessarily do that was great, or to warrant them being close 5 points? What has Trevor Lawrence done? Like, he's horrible. I've never seen a first round pick get so much grace and love in my life. Um, to each their own. It doesn't matter. I don't have to pay for them. But until Bills are killing it right now. What can you say? The Bills might probably going to end up winning that division. Watch out for them competing in the AFC as a whole. I like the Bills over the Trevors with that 5. Last but not least, we have Commanders and the Bungles. Monday Night Football. Yay! I'm glad there's two games on at the same time because I'm probably going to be watching the whole Buffalo game and not the Commanders Bengals game. I'm going to watch both. You always, like, come on. Don't do that to me. I'm going to watch both. But I got to pretend because Bengals Commanders, that's not going to be a good game to watch. I do want to see Jaden Daniels, though. That's why I will be watching. I do want to see Jaden Daniels. What has Joe Burrow been doing? I don't know. Is this the same? I don't know who this guy is. Um, and I don't know why they're getting 7.5 against the Commanders. I'm not sure. Um, I like the Commanders at that 7.5. I think the Bengals are going to win, but I do like the 7.5 to going towards the Commanders. I don't think they're 7.5 points better than the Bungles at all currently. Now, remember, you're talking to a guy that's 70%. 70% picks, baby. A career 70% picker. Let's run through these real quick, just in case you were late to the stream. I forgive you this time and let it rock with you. But this is what we're gonna do. All right. So for our fantasy starts, Jordan Mason against the Rams. We're gonna ride that hot hand. AK against the Eagles. We're gonna ride that hot hand, hot team. And then Jerome Ford against the Giants. We're gonna ride against the Giants currently, those bums. Now for your sits, Aaron, sit him down this week. Just this week. Chill. Give him another week or so. Remember, we going off of the Patriots philosophy. We got to be, just this week. Just chill. Trust me on this. Trust the process. All the ones I picked. So that's what I actually did do well the last 2 weeks. These fantasy sits and picks. Only one I missed was Ingram week 1. That's the only start I told y'all to start that I missed on. Everyone else hit so far. So trust the process. There's a reason I'll be in my championships on my fantasy. Trust the process. Hey, Aaron, have a seat, my dude. Mike Evans, have a seat, my dude. Just this week, just this week, he's allowed to have one bad week. And this is going to be the week he's going to have one. And then sit Saquon Barkley against the Saints because he's known to put the ball on the ground. I think he's going to have a turnover. He's probably going to fumble the ball or have a few tackles for losses behind the line of scrimmage. So that's what we're going to sit. And then make sure you got your pen and pencils because I'm going pretty quick for your weekly picks. All right. I like the Patriots to beat the Jets. They still big bro. They always big bro for a while. Um, yeah, scheme, coaching. I don't like Nathaniel Hackett's play calling. I don't think Robert Sala is a good coach. Bears or against the Colts. I like their defensive backs going against a very raw, unpredictable, and very inconsistent Anthony Richardson. I like the Broncos at the 6.5, but I want the Bucks to win. I don't want them to win. I think they're going to win. But I just don't think they're going to beat them by 6.5 points. I think the Broncos are going to fight back, fight for your life. But I think the Bucks are going to win. I like Mike Tomlin against Jimmy Harbaugh. Um, just because of Mike Tomlin being a better coach. He's a better coach. I think he is a better coach than Jimmy H, and I think they have a better defense. This is going to be a very close defensive game. That's why they got it at 1.5. Um, only defensive because their offenses aren't really that great. But Mike Tomlin's going to sell out to stop that run and force Justin to throw the ball a little bit more, which is going to create turnovers. So we're going with the Steelers. Riding hot hand, Saints against the Eagles. Riding hot hand, so otherwise stated. I don't think it's a fluke. I think the Saints are really good. Browns, Giants, of course, because it's the Giants. Packers against Titans. I still like the Packers as a team as a whole. Malik Willis in the second start. He's only going to get better. Um, their offense is still a little bit quarterback friendly, and he does some things better than Jordan Love does as far as running the ball. And the Titans are still the Titans. I mean, that's a prime example. Texans against Vikings. I do like the Titans. Talking about Titans, I like the Texans to beat the Vikings. I think I just think the Texans have a better overall team, and what's going to really stand them out is the run game. Joe Mixon in that run game and being able to have a real. I'm not even gonna go there. Texans. I still think the Dolphins are going to beat the Seahawks. Um, they're giving them 4.5. I just think they're going to win. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Dolphins are going to win. You're giving them points, and I think they're going to win. So that's why Dolphins 4.5. Raiders, Panthers. It's the Panthers. Now it's only at 5 because of Andy Dalton because Bryce Young isn't that good. But I think the Raiders are a little bit better than the Panthers are. At least a touchdown better. At least a touchdown better. Battle, two teams going to two different directions. Cards, Lions. Cards have a legit threat. Marvin Harrison Jr. is legit. He's doing what he do. I think the Lions will struggle against him a little bit. And the Cards got a good offense. They kept up with the Buffalo Bills. They just don't have a great defense. That's their problem. So battle of the shootouts. I'm going with the Cards. Bang Bang Niners game against the Rams. Simple as that. We do better than the Rams, and the Rams aren't healthy. Matthew Stafford does not have his security blanket, either of his security blankets, Puka Nakua or Cooper Cup, to get him out of a jam against the 49ers, where he has a tendency to throw interceptions over the middle. Cowboys Rams, battle of what the hell are y'all doing? Thought y'all was better than that, little bros. Um, right now, I think the Cowboys are a better team right now. The Ravens look like they're still struggling to find who they are defensively and their identity because their coach left for the Seahawks. So I still like Dak and that offense to do. Even though CD Lamb is questionable, but I still like the Dallas Cowboys. They got a pretty serviceable defense, especially against the Ravens not having really any weapons outside of Zay Flowers. So I'm going with the Cowboys. Yeast and the Falcons, Chandy Reed doing his thing. Um, that I think Spag's gonna do a good job against Kirk Thuggins. We ain't gotta spend a lot of time on that one. I like the Buffalo Bills against the Trevors. Um, I, he's not that good, and Josh Allen is. Yeah, I mean, and they're in Buffalo, so there you go. And then last but not least, I like the Commanders with that 7.5. They're not gonna win, but I like the 7.5, depending on how you wanted to bet, if you want to go straight up and all these other things. All right. So those are your picks. That's what it is. And if you want to get rich, you stick with the kid. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and do all those things. If you want to know what we are, who we are, and where we be, subscribe to the YouTube channel as always. There, Image Media. You see the. Hold on, let me jump out of this real quick. You see it right there, over there. There it is. Bam. If you're looking for it on YouTube, that's what we are in YouTube. Twitter, 49ers East Coast. Bang, bang, Niners gang. As always, it's your boy Geach. Until next time, get this paper. We'll holla at you.